Jolene heard her father's uneven snores. Right then she knew there must be something more. Jolene heard the singing in the forest. She opened the door quietly and stepped into the night. Yeah, I wanna throw you out into space. I wanna do whatever it takes, yeah. But every time I pull you close, push my face into your hair, cigarettes and tobacco smoke, that sickly scent is always there. Yeah, yeah.
When we first started out, it was during the height of the grunge excitement in the early 90s, and everything was really big sounding and sort of about white male low self-esteem, but really loud low self-esteem, which I was always suspicious of. Like, if you're really feeling so horrible about yourself, why is your amp turned up to 11?
Yeah.
So what we started out as is sort of a reactionary gesture against what we saw as the excess of American rock generally and grunge specifically. And so we decided to record an album and make it sound really puny. And we thought that would be the most subversive thing you could do in a country like the United States. In some ways, the sort of loud, like punk rock, crowd surfing, army boot in the side of a head of a little girl,
Yeah.
this sort of might makes right scenario of a lot of American rock is just not that different than deforestation in Central America or Exxon having a lot of lawyers.
No, you're exactly right. Bigger, better, faster.
Yeah.
It seems to be, sadly, what people think is the American way, which is not necessarily. Not all of us think that, but
right. And you don't think that on your show. Clearly, we thought that it was odd, though, that the supposedly subversive music in America was the same thing. It was turned to 11, just like Exxon.
Yeah.
You know, and so we thought, wow, that would freak people out if we just turned up to 4.
Just turned it down.
And nobody got it, and it was a failed experiment. But no, actually, a few people understood.
I was going to say, but it started something, because you have, this show sold out quicker than any show we've had since we had REM on the show. You have some serious fans here, which means, and we're a small place, which means you have to have a lot of serious fans wherever you go in larger places. So something started there when that first record happened. That bloomed into, and then you got on Columbia?
No, actually, then we signed with Capricorn Records.
Oh, yeah, right.
And they were devoured by a larger label eventually. We put out 1 record, 2 records on Capricorn, and in the middle of the second record, they were consumed by Mercury, which was owned by Columbia. And then Mercury was destroyed on the next album by Universal. It was just a big, we signed to an independent label we thought was going to be an independent label, and then they were consumed by larger labels, and we found ourselves on a big label. And, it was an interesting anthropological dig. Our culture of our band didn't necessarily interface that well with corporate culture, and we had a lot of misunderstandings.
Sure, I can see that.
You could understand.
It's been a long time since I've seen your smiling face. It's been a long time since I've seen a sunny day. It's been a long time since you wore your pillbox hat. It's been a long time since we drove your Pontiac.
We like to do a lot of things ourselves. We've designed our own record covers, posters, We've directed our own videos. We've done a lot of our own stuff. It's sort of like a home crafts project that's gotten out of control. And we produce our own albums, and we've never had a studio producer. So.
And y'all have always been producer, and you still are.
Yeah, we still produce ourselves, and now we've got our own label. We've got our sort of control of the project again, and we've got a solar-powered studio, which is actually pretty interesting.
It's pretty amazing, really.
Pretty stupid, though, not to have one in California.
Yeah, it's true.
And we realized that. We traveled to Germany, which is the #1 producer of solar electricity in the world. And I don't know if you've been to Germany, but Germany is not a sunny place. It's very, very cloudy. We realized this is just wrong.
They can do it there. You can certainly do it much easier where you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we basically make money feeding our excess electricity back into the grid, and as the value of recorded music descends into the garbage, we still get a check from the publicly owned utility.
That's by the way, if you mentioned that you produce and conceive, I assume, all of your own videos. If you haven't seen Short Skirt Long Jacket video, just stop right now and go on YouTube to see that, because it's really a genius video, and it's a wonderful song as well as a funny video.
Do you want to know the story behind it?
Yeah, I would like to know.
Well, this is an example of our culture being a little bit of a difficult interface with the corporate culture. We turned that video into the record company, Columbia at the time, and they said, "We love this. This is great. Now go make a real video. We'll use this for advertising." And I'm like, "No, you do not get this," And so it was a big fight, and I just hung up the phone, and for a week I didn't talk to anybody. And then there was one person in the company that sort of got it and talked to the president of the company and said, "You know what? They're actually thinking outside of the box," and the phrase "out of the box" was understandable to the corporate guy.
Yeah.
And so then he comes at me and he says, "Okay, I get what you're doing. You guys are thinking outside of the box." And I'm like, "Yeah, exactly."
Someone's explained it in a way that you can understand. But when was that? Mid-90s, late 90s?
No, actually that was, I think, 2001.
Because that was like way ahead. I mean, that's what's happening now. That was ahead of its time in terms of at least commercial people doing that. Other people were doing it, but. It's a great video of people listening to the single and commenting on it. People on the street, and man, is it great! I mean, everything about it is good. So anyway,
thank you. It was mostly us not wanting to lip sync in an Urban Decay setting.
Yeah.
We just really were tired of music videos, and we just didn't feel like being in one. And so at that point, we thought, okay, let's turn the camera around.
New video's fun too, though. Sick of You. It's the new single is fun.
I'm so sick of you, so sick of me. I don't want to be with you. I want to fly away. I just want to fly away. I'm so sick of work, so sick of play. I don't need another day. I'm so sick of work, so sick of play. I don't need another day. I wanna hide away. I just wanna hide away.
How's the songs generated? I mean, you write the tunes, you bring them in?
I pretty much bring them in on an acoustic guitar or a piano, just sort of the basic framework of the song. And sometimes I'll have a bass line, or sometimes I'll have a horn part or guitar riff or something, sometimes not. And so we just kind of take it from there, and sometimes we figure it out immediately, and sometimes it takes months of.
Yeah, well, you never can predict how that happens. Same way of writing.
Yeah.
You don't know whether you're going to write a song in a day or whether it's going to take a year or whatever.
Yeah, I like the day songs.
Yeah, everybody likes that. When you can do it, it works great.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, and this CD, Showroom of Compassion, it's a great sounding. I haven't heard it all yet. I've only heard samples and a few total cuts because we're recording this before it's been released. But it sounds really good, and the songs are good, and obviously people loved you on the show, and I'm sure that's the case. So watch out. What's your website?
okmusic.com.
And you can find out where they're going to be, because we just gave you a sample. You can hear the whole thing when you go see them in concert. Thanks, John.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.